So Tow Piglet is no longer an authorized motor carrier, and basically that means I can't make money hauling freight anymore. And you know, the question that I saw most common or along those lines was kind of like, hey Alex, well, what are you going to do next, right? And so that's what my goal is to answer in this video. So I actually started my channel October 1st, 2017, and I started uploading videos a little bit after that. Since then, I've tried to be as like upfront and transparent as possible, and in this video I want to continue that. So I've been watching
Gary Vay, Nerd Chuck,
probably since around that time, 2017 or so, and you know, Gary Vee can be summarized in basically two phrases.
because we have to accomplish happiness. Being happy is the only thing.
And
TikTok, 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 TikTok.
And right now it's TikTok, but before it was like Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, every other social media, blogs, you know, all that stuff. So he's basically a huge proponent of posting on social media. And by the way, the reason for that is because social media is one of the only opportunities where you can post a piece of content and have a disproportionate number of views or impressions compared to the work that you put in. Whereas with a business, you got to spend so much money and build the business, all this other stuff, to then get the return. I started in 2015 in the summer as a company driver, and then in November of 2015, I bought that silver Dodge that I had for a very long time. But instead of going out and being an owner operator on it right away, I put a driver in it and worked as a dispatcher for a carrier loading that truck. And that lasted only about 6 months. And then sometime like in the summer of 2016, I ended up hitting the road as an actual leased on owner operator in the summer of 2016. And so after running hard for about a year and paying off my bills and whatnot, or catching up on the bills from trying out the driver route and working as a dispatcher, I then realized, I was like, wait, oh my goodness, hotshot is literally the coolest thing ever. And from that little experience in that 2015 to 2000 time frame, I knew that semi trucks somewhat consistently gross $5,000 to $6,000 a week. And so I realized that, hold on, I could actually do the same $5,000 to $6,000 gross per week as a hotshot. And so this is why I was like, okay, hold on, this is the most amazing opportunity. You don't need a CDL. You don't need any like crazy skills or qualifications. You can just go in there, do it. And back then I remember my first trailer, a 32 footer, it was $7,200. $7,200 for a trailer, a 32 footer. It was crazy. And so I was like, oh my goodness. So the enthusiasm and the passion for hotshot certainly stemmed from that. Like with no qualifications, no skills, no nothing, you can go out there and you can do similar gross to what semis are doing. And that's where it was like, okay, hold on, I want to share this with other people. And this is where the channel kind of started from and came from. And I took what I learned from Gary Vee and I started uploading. I did uploads every day for 90 days until I couldn't do it anymore, and I was super exhausted and tired, and I had I think my phone broke, my computer broke, something like that. I forget what it was. But the point remains the same, is like the intent was like, this was the most amazing opportunity that I discovered and I want to share. And actually every time I learned something new, like, oh, instead of a 32 footer, a 36 is better. Instead of a 36, a 40 is better. Instead of a leaf spring trailer, a torsion axle is better. Instead of buying a truck where you have to use your own personal credit, you can get an enterprise. Every step of the way, when I learned something new about the business, I shared it with you guys. And so last year I realized, I was like, hey, I actually want to get off the road, right? I don't want to be on the road all the time. And so in 2021, I was like, you know, it might be the year to expand. So I tried to get a couple of drivers on the road, and then I was like, man, drivers are difficult, and I still didn't perfect the equipment, and there was still no trailers that I wanted, right? And so then I was like, well, let me do a quick pivot so that I can achieve my goal of getting off the road faster. Let me lease on some owner operators, right? I put aside the things that made me happy, which was like making videos and editing and getting good at content and like actually and technology, all because I really wanted to grow quickly. And I knew that if I could grow quick enough, I could achieve the things I was trying to do, which was number one, get off the road.
we did that. Number 2 was get a maintenance guy, so I'm not out there doing the maintenance and working on that. I can focus on things I'm good at. We did that. And so the goal was to then hire more people to do the things that I couldn't do, that I wasn't good at, or that I didn't want to do. And I ultimately came crashing down when insurance tells you, hey, we're going to jack up your rates really high because you're growing too quickly. But you're kind of stuck in this conundrum of like, if you don't grow quickly, well, then you can't afford to have those people in place, and you're always stuck doing the things you don't want to do. And I didn't want to do that because for the longest time,
I wanted to be a programmer way before trucking. I actually tried to learn to code numerous times. Like before I started trucking, before I started hotshot, I bought a MacBook, brand new MacBook back then, 7-8 years ago. I bought a new MacBook thinking like, okay, I have this great new computer, I need to learn to code. And I sat down and I started coding, and I was like, darn, this might take me a long time to learn how to code before I could actually start making money with it. And so I gave up on that, and then eventually started looking for a job, and that's what kind of led me into hotshot. But so I've liked and enjoyed 2 things: technology, specifically coding and software, and the other thing is making content, creating videos, all this stuff, right? And last year I lost sight of that. And so the long answer being really extremely long, the response to what's next would be, well, number 1, there's now this thing called no code tools, and it's basically you can make websites and apps all without writing code. It's just drag and drop. And so I fixed hotshot driving jobs, which I've wanted to do for a very long time and just never had the time to do it. So that's now fixed. So I will still keep doing that, hotshot driving jobs. It's awesome. That's how I actually hired all my drivers and all my owner operators. So I'm really, really excited about hotshot driving jobs. And so I know companies are posting, drivers are using it. I didn't talk about it for a long time, and it was still being used. And I saw the numbers. People were still applying. People were still getting hired. So that is still one of the best ways, I think, a centralized kind of job board for hotshots. So I fixed that. The second thing is scam freight. I launched a new Chrome extension. It's called scam freight, and that is basically like a freight broker review extension. So it's like I've gotten scammed by bad brokers before, and so I did hire a developer for that, and it's done. And I'm really excited about that one. It's totally free extension, so you're welcome to check it out. Links for all the stuff will be in the description below. And then obviously videos. I'm gonna record a bunch of videos because now like I have the time, and like I do believe I have some level of industry expertise in this, and so I have a lot of really good videos. I've been writing about notes and whatnot, like some of the mistakes I made, and now I can openly talk about them because I never wanted to. I never wanted an owner operator or a driver that's like working for me. I never wanted them to feel like, oh, if I make a mistake, Alex is going to make a video about it. And so a lot of stuff I didn't talk about it, and so that's why I want to talk about it. Of course, I'm not going to mention names or anything like that. That's never the goal, but it was just like learning experiences along the way from leasing on so many owner operators and taking on drivers. So I definitely will still be doing videos for sure. Now you might be thinking, Alex, it's great that you have the Chrome extension. It's great that you have your website. It's great that you have the channel. And you might be looking forward to using those things or to the videos. But you also might be wondering like, well, what are you going to do for money actually? Like the Chrome extension is free, so that might be a while before it makes it $1. The website does have a paid tier, but because it's so niche, like just hotshot driving jobs, like inevitably that's a very tiny market, so it won't ever become a wild success or be even remotely able to pay the bills. And the channel is great, and but the problem with the channel is it fluctuates so much, you never know like whether you can depend on that income or not. So, but really what I've realized over the last year or two or whatever is that a lot of small businesses struggle with software. Like this is a very, like to give you an idea, I just had to pay for a body shop for damage to a vehicle, and the body shop doesn't take card payments. Like they straight up, they take cash and check. That's it. Like cash and check. Like they don't take Zelle, Cash App, any type of quick pay. They wouldn't even do a wire transfer. Like that was their 2 options, cash and check. Like it's 2022, So I've realized that a lot of businesses struggle with all things software, with all things IT, and really because I'm not such an expert in any one of those things. Like I'm good at like connecting a lot of the stuff, right? Like making it work, making the solutions. And so I think ultimately what I might be able to build out that will bring the most value to small businesses is like basically an outsourced IT department.
Instead of you trying to hire someone that can do all of your IT, you can outsource to me, and like I can help you or give you recommendations. And so that's what I want to do. I want to see what you guys are struggling with, and basically I'll leave a link, and I'll be doing free consultations. I just want to talk to you guys and see what problems you're struggling with. It doesn't have to be in trucking. You can be in something else. Just I have a lot of experience in multiple different things, and so I think I could bring solutions for small businesses that are struggling with IT. And so if that's your case, just fill out the quick form. I'll try to get through as many people as possible. I know it's going to be it might be a couple days or whatever, but really I want to help small businesses with IT, because I feel like that was one of the things that made my company great. So I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.